Alright fellas, here we are back with Pokemon Masters, and today we're doing the Champion Stadium. These weaknesses are a little iffy, mostly Malva. That's fine. Either way, we're going to be doing a HISUI only Champion Stadium, and as the title and thumbnail imply, but I clickbaited you a tiny bit. You're still going to like, subscribe, and whatnot, right? Yeah, we know so. Anyway, this is not going to be only HISUI Stadium, it's going to be HISUI characters and their descendants only. So, for example, we got ourselves Volo here, right? We got Volo, but since we have Volo, we're also able to use Cynthia characters. Cynthia and Garchomp, Cynthia and Como, Renegade Cynthia, obviously, all those characters, right? And same thing for Ray. Since we have Ray, we're going to be able to use Lucas. And since we have a card, we'll be able to use Dawn. I'm only doing this for the sake that, for one, this is Kalos Stadium, so it is extremely tough. For two, there is only 10 Hisuian characters. You've got Volo, Lodge Volo, Ray Akari, and then the 3 Adamant and Eriott sync pairs. That is 10 sync pairs, not 15. And not to mention, 3 of them are Lodge characters, so there's a little bit of a strength gap, we'll say there, right? And also weaknesses and all that stuff. So I figured we'll throw in the descendants as well, so it can give us some more variety in team building. So we got Lucas, Dawn. If we had Perrin in the game, that'd be nice, but alas, we do not. So Lucas, Dawn, Cynthia, and I think that's it, right? Those are the only 3 we've got. Okay, well, whatever, that's fine. Let's go ahead and hop into these stadium battles, because I think they're going to be a little bit more on the painful side, because I can't think of anyone who can immediately cover a Rock Week Malva besides maybe the Dragon team? Also, Seabolt's not exactly going to be fun either. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and hop into the battle. So the first setup I wanted to get out of the way was against Malva, because there's only 2, I guess. Weather setters that are not Sun in Sinnoh, Hisui, whatever. And it's Eriott and Lodge Volo. Lodge Volo, who I do not have because Volo is on 99. I'm not kidding. And then Eriott, who sadly we do have Ice Week Drasna, so she would have just destroyed that stage. But I mean, you gotta get rid of Malva's gimmicks somehow. So, or you can hit through it, but I wouldn't recommend that, especially because of Sentry Entry, which is mostly why Eriott is your really only option for this, because Sentry Entry is so bad, and most of these Sinnoh units are physical, or physical leaning, I guess, in like Renegade Cynthia's case. Either way, I was able to use Dawn and Lodge for enough defensive support ability so that we could end up surviving long enough to KO the sides, because KOing the middle is not that big of a problem. KOing the sides is a bit of a problem, because I keep spamming Heat Wave, right, and Icy Wind is not a great form of damage, because I had to go full nuke investment, as well as having, I think I had Arctic Arrival on her, just so I didn't have to do any different Qs, so yeah, I kind of had to go for this. Either way, it was fine in the end, I guess. We just end up spamming Icy Wind to KO them, so it worked out, I guess. But it does suck that we had to use Eriott for the stage instead of using her for Drasna, because Drasna's not exactly fun either, but honestly, Drasna didn't even end up being that difficult. The real difficulty was probably Seabolt. Yeah, really just Seabolt, honestly. I think that was pretty much it. And Diantha a little bit towards the end, but I ended up covering her without too much issue. Anyway, yeah, this Icy Wind spam is boring. I get it, it's boring, but you're enduring with me just talking for the next minute, probably. Granted, that's what these videos all are, isn't it? Huh. I think all of my videos are literally just voiceover. Okay, that's fair, I guess. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine. Not having a midlife crisis or anything. But yeah, there we go. Goodbye Flareon, and then goodbye Ninetales. I don't know how to filler in this content with what I'm talking about. Maybe I should like put in one of those like ball bouncing shorts or whatever that just has the voice and whatnot of whatever you're wanting to listen to, but then has your eyes focused on the bounce of the ball or the throwing of the knife or whatever the stupid skibbity toilet type shit is nowadays. There we go. Goodbye Stadium. Or goodbye Malva, rather. I don't know why the hell I went on such a long tangent there. Whatever. Let's move on to Seabolt. Friggin' piece of crap. Alright, and here is the second battle. I know I didn't start from the beginning, but that's because resetting is not fun when it's actually in practice. This uses Aura Cynthia, Signasuit Cynthia, and Lucas to defeat Seabolt because his big gimmick is having, what the fuck it's called. He needs a status condition. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. It's pretty much right behind me, but I'm not going to bother looking it up. Anyway, whatever. We have to use Cynthia here for that paralysis, and also just because she's strong. So, I mean, that's fair enough, right? My initial idea was to bring Signasuit Dawn, but my Dawn is 1 out of 5, and her tanking ability at 1 out of 5 is not exactly something I would say is commendable, to say the least. So, whatever. We're pretty much stuck with what we got here, but whatever, it's fine. Using Aura Cynthia here worked out because the Master Passive was also pretty helpful, so it's fine. Not really a big issue. I wanted to try and nuke with Lucas instead of nuking with Cynthia here, but I ended up having to go for Cynthia's nuke for the spread damage because even if we take out Seabolt, the serfs from Octillery and whatnot are just good night. Alright, that's pretty much what those are. So, anyway, I mean, either way, this nuke still does a lot, right? Paralysis with Static Shock 5 plus the Brain Power, 17,000 damage is definitely really good there. So, getting in that much damage is nice. And then, obviously, getting in the Aura Sphere with Aura Cynthia is going to give us that +2 special moves next, meaning our attacks are going to be hitting like little trucks, alright? So, made this run pretty trivial at the end, so that at least at that point, that's nice, right? So, goodbye, Barbarical, and I wanted to heal up that Roar of Time, but no gauge, and it doesn't matter anyway. I think we would have been fine anyway, but even if that didn't KO, but I'm glad we didn't have to figure that one out, or I didn't have to figure that one out, because if I would have been KO'd from that, I would have probably screamed. Because this one was already a little bit luck intensive anyway, to have them not spam spread moves the whole time. Oh, and that one's even more so the case against Diantha. No, Drasna. Yeah, let's go to Drasna. Or is it? No, it's Wickstrom. Yeah, Wickstrom. As Wickstrom, we have Renegade Cynthia, Eriott, Special Custom Eriott, and Lodge Cynthia. I've used 4 Cynthias in 2 battles. Wow. Anyway, that just goes to show how good these Cynthia sync pairs tend to be. Either way, this one is just basically... The way that I tend to do these half sync countdown battles is I just ramp up enemy offense and ramp down allied defense. I pick up support times 3 damage, tech and strike times 3 damage. I pick up all of that stuff because of that, because it's like if the enemy hits you, I mean, you lose, but also if the enemy gets a sync move off, you lose. So you want to try and minimize damage as much as possible. So, or try and minimize the amount of actions, I guess, as much as possible. So just being able to do this is nice. Goodbye. Thank you. Yeah, that's the big thing here, is that with these -2 sync countdowns, you want to basically try and KO the enemy as fast as you possibly can, and because you're going for as fast as you can, it does not matter how defensive you are, right? Being a glass cannon doesn't matter, alright? So it worked out, so I'm happy about that. Cynthia's generally my go-to for that strategy anyway, for some reason. Like, if there's a Ghost Week stadium where you got half sync countdown, I always use Renegade Cynthia for that stage. It always works out, even before her EX roll. No kidding. Alright, this setup with setup with Adamant, Special Costume Adamant, and Akari is effectively just throwing 3 damage dealers at the enemy and hoping it works. Drasna's not fun because she spams Earthquake, which if you have half ally HP, like I did prior to changing parameters, you're not going to be in for a fun time, let's just say that, as probably implied. The big thing about this one, though, was pretty much Adamant's Headlong Rush. Towards the end, we were able to get the +2 physical moves next from Akari's Buddy Move onto him, and then a Headlong Rush just boom, hits him for a ton of damage. It works out, so that's cool. And then we use Adamant for a tank because Sunscreen combined with the physical master passive and synthesis is a very effective method of not taking too much damage, too much unnecessary damage, I should say. So that's nice, thankfully. We go for Adamant's nuke, Special Custom Adamant's nuke as well, because it's, for 1, multi-target, and for 2, it's stronger than Akari's because of the multiple multipliers. That was redundant, and also I just felt it better to probably keep using Cecil's Edge with Akari anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Either way, Adamant does a lot of damage here on the nuke, pretty good amount, and then obviously the +2 physical moves next from Akari's Buddy Move is going to help that Headlong Rush do even more damage, and that Heat Wave is, oh boy, that Heat Wave is going to hurt. But also so did that Headlong Rush, so it's fine. We got down to 1% health with Adamant, no endurance, just straight 1% health. Almost got hit by that Toxic, but thankfully we did not. And then Adamant's able to finish off the Hydreigon with the Headlong Rush, and then we're able to finish off the Flygon with Cecil's Edge. So, dodged a bullet there, almost got destroyed, but because of that burn as well, but it worked out, thankfully. Oh boy, that was a pretty close battle, let's say. Maybe the Wickstrom one was a little bit closer, but also... Nah, they were both Adamant and Akari were both below 20% health, and Special Costume Adamant was found dead in a ditch. There we go. That was that setup. Let's move on and end this with Diantha, which is actually a pretty fun setup, but pretty RNG dependent, sadly. And we're using, for some reason, I figured, you know what, let's go over Cyrus's theme. But we're ended up with Volo and Ray. Yeah. We ended up using pretty much every Hisuian character. Not sync pair, just character. We used Volo, Adamant, Eriott, Special Costume Adamant, Special Costume Eriott, Ray, and Akari. So there's all the Hisuian characters used. I got pretty sure I have a comprehensive list here. Yeah, we needed that flinch bad, but I did not use Lodge Adamant or Eriott, or Lodge, I did use Lodge Dawn. I did not use Cygnus Dawn, nor Variety Lucas, or regular Cynthia. So, I mean, that's pretty good roster to leave on the table. This run was mostly reliant upon Ray flinching Diantha on the first turn, and then that Hattering going for Stat Mirror, because negating the damage Volo takes was pretty necessary. It does suck that this is a Fairy Diantha and nothing else, because Volo setting Fairy Zone for team damage reduction ends up getting counteracted because she has a 50% boost when in Fairy Zone, right? So that is a pretty bad thing. But thankfully Volo's tanking, it's still pretty good. Also, the flinches are just as equally as good. We get the Dynamic Punch, which is pretty clutch. 15% damage from Volo is really helpful. And that flinch, sorry, not the flinch, the Confusion could have been helpful too if Diantha would ever hit herself in Confusion. But she did not, of course, that's my luck. But I mean, either way, Volo did survive. We finish him off here with the triple arrows. Goodbye, Diantha. Good day. Again, I did want to use Aura Cynthia for this battle, but honestly, I like this one better. The duo with Volo and Ray. And Volo being so bitter towards Ray is so funny to me. I love that. That's going to be so fun whenever we actually get to them bringing in Pokemon Wielder Volo, whenever that end up may being. And we finish off here with the look of Volo, Akari, and Ray, which I think that's a pretty nice trio for the stadium screenshot. I don't know. But I mean, I'll take it. So yeah, there was the Hisui only Champion Stadium alongside Descendants, of course, because there's only 10 Hisuian sync pairs, man. I'm not about to try and solo and duo 3,000 point Kalos Master Mode. If anyone wants to do that, go do that yourself. All right, you have fun with that. You're better than me, probably. So yeah, whatever. There it was. Hope you all enjoyed. Sorry if this is going out a little bit late. These battles took a little bit too long to prepare, plus some other things. Yeah, I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed.